And a big thank you to Jam Crew for energizing us. And let's do our best. And let's do our best to keep our energy levels high throughout this forum. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th Social Entrepreneurship Forum in Riga. The Soros Foundation Latvia began paying particular attention to social entrepreneurship at the beginning of the economic crisis in 2008-2009, when it became obvious that the jobs being rapidly lost would not reappear magically after the downturn, that the state very clearly has limits to its capacity to ensure the welfare of its citizens, and that business itself is struggling. If in the EU's southern tier, the popular response to this crisis was voice, and that, by which I mean demonstrations and vocal protests to express grievances, here in the Baltics, the popular response was exit, by which I mean physical emigration in search of work and internal emigration, that is, disengagement from political and social processes. It is this disengagement which worries me most. For liberal democracy, which is at the core of the European Union's member states, depends on citizen engagement in the political process. Disenchantment with politicians and political institutions is broad and ever increasing. 2 weeks ago, Italian Prime Minister Enrico Letta said that the EU's political mainstream must go into battle against a rise in populism that next year threatens to usher in the most Eurosceptic, most anti-European parliament in history and scupper hopes of long-term economic recovery. So what we will be discussing over the next 2 days is not only about turning Europe into a smart, sustainable, and inclusive economy, the development of private, not-for-profit economic activities, and the addressing of growing unemployment and economic inequality, but it is also very much about the future of democracy in Europe. I will quote from an excellent guide, which I hope all of you have now, to the social economy and social entrepreneurship put out by the European Commission. And I heartily suggest that you read through this at one point. And I quote, "The ongoing crisis has accelerated the need for rethinking the respective roles of the market, the state, the third sector, and the individual. The crisis has also helped to identify some of the values and directions in which we should move. At a time of increasing global competition, major demographic change, and public budget constraints, new forms of organization and interaction between the public sector, civil society organizations, private enterprises, and citizens are needed. These could recreate a common ground for social behaviors that are increasingly diverse, bring them together around a sense of shared responsibility towards social and economic development." End of quote. That is why we are talking about social entrepreneurship today. We hope these will be 2 fruitful and inspirational days for everyone, full of learning, sharing, debating, and may I say, a bit of fun. Thanks to all our partners for their invaluable contribution to the forum. The British Council has contributed to having international expertise at the forum and is a trusted friend and partner in promoting social entrepreneurship in Latvia. The Stockholm School of Economics in Riga, with its committed students, is a seedbed for entrepreneurship of all kinds in Latvia and venue for this forum for the 5th time. The BA School of Business and Finance is a crucial partner that has contributed both brains and hands. Thank you to the school's student volunteers for this event. The forum is a product of many brainstorming sessions, meetings, phone and Skype calls among a number of committed institutions and individuals. I would like to especially thank the forum's steering committee, representatives of the Riga City Council, the Latvian Ministry of Welfare, and the New Theatre Institute. In particular, I would like to commend my colleague, Program Director Ieva Morica. Where is she? Ieva Morica, for bringing it all together. May all your sleepless nights prove to have been worth it, Ieva. And now I pass the microphone to Andris Paalzow, Rector of the Stockholm School of Economics in Riga. Andris, please.
Thank you very much, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Stockholm School of Economics in Riga. As Andris mentioned, this is the 5th forum, Social Entrepreneurship Forum we run here, and I happened to open the first one. And those were the days, and I think it was going to be very good days for social entrepreneurship, because those were the days when the crisis in Latvia was really deep, and we were all looking for alternatives, what to do. So it was a very good starting point for the Social Entrepreneurship Forum. When we started discussing it in early 2009, there was a lot of resistance to the concept. Could something be both entrepreneurial and socially responsible? And many people said, no, what we need is kind of strong companies making a lot of money but not caring about the social aspect to it. And we said, yeah, it's good that people make money, but we also have to have a society in which we can live. And the crisis showed that had there been more social entrepreneurship in the good days, crisis might not have been that deep, and people might have been a bit better off. So it was a very good starting point, and I'm very happy then to see that we are here today, 5 years later, still continuing, reflecting a bit on what has happened then, since then. The concept, as I mentioned, social entrepreneurship, was not really known here. It was a concept in its infancy. Today, when we look into the society, both in terms of understanding of the concept, but even more important, the action in social entrepreneurship, I think Latvia has developed tremendously during 5 years. Unfortunately, there are no numbers from Bank of Latvia or Central Statistical Bureau or anyone showing what has happened in terms of social entrepreneurship in Latvia, but my perception is that we have developed a lot, and Latvian Central Bank is very proud of exports growing 100% since the kind of crisis. I'm sure that if we look into social entrepreneurship, it has grown even much more. So I think Latvia is doing extremely well in terms of developing a sustainable social entrepreneurship sector. So having said this, I'm very happy to see you here. I'm also very happy to see that the forum continues. It was, and we have to give credit to one of our students who actually came up with the idea. I'm not sure she's here today, but she would have been very happy had she seen what the brainchild 5 years ago roughly resulted in. I'm also very happy that the format of the forum is still the same, an exchange of ideas, but in the light of what I just said, the Latvian presence in this exchange of ideas is much, much more visible and much bigger than it was at the first one. So, yep, I'm happy to be here. Andris mentioned a lot of people who supported and organizations who supported this event. Of course, being humble, he forgot one, and that is the Soros Foundation. So thank you very much to everyone mentioned before, plus Soros Foundation. And then she has disappeared now, but Eva, having done more, it's done a good job. She really deserves one more thank you. So let's have fun and a productive 2 days. Thanks.